Today I'm putting an ambidextrous safety on an SA35 Browning high power, and the first step is to take off the slide and the grips and just get down to the frame. I got my ambidextrous safety from Cylinder and Slide, and they provide a set of instructions that show you how to install it with the sides and the slide removed. Okay, this is watching the safety. The safety is off right now, but you'll see when I slide the safety on, you can see how it slides behind that sear to prevent the sear from moving. So I've taken out the detent of the safety, but you can see the safety, it's off. When I slide it here, it's on. This is the factory safety. This is the new Ambi safety. And if you look carefully, you see that same shape. I'm going to show you what happens when I install this safety. There's interference because the front of that, they said they make it about 8 thousandths oversized so that you have to fit it properly. You can see that little pin. I'm going to have to remove that because that's what holds the sear. The sear has to be removed before I can get out the safety, which is really what I want to remove out of it. This is the factory safety. So I'm going to remove this sear pin right here, and then to do that, you have to have the hammer cocked back and you hold the sear plate in here to keep it from springing out. The sear is held in tension with this spring right here. You can see this spring. See this spring that comes all the way back down? That spring is pressing against this sear right here. And so you're holding it against that spring, holding the hammer back, and then you just use a punch to press to move that out of the way. Okay, I've knocked the pin out, and you can see my punch is still holding it together. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pull the hammer all the way back, and then use my finger to hold this sear in, and then I'm gonna slide the punch out, and this will disassemble. Okay, I've got the sear out. You can see this is the sear spring, and I've got the sear out. You can see this is the part of the sear that catches. Let me get this. This part of the sear right here is what catches on the hammer. When I pull the hammer back, you can see there's a little notch right there, and that's what the sear catches on and holds the hammer back. So now that I have that, I can push this extractor all the way around so that it's pointing down. So that's the extractor pointing all the way down right here. Hammer all the way forward. I'm just gonna slide the safety out, and you're gonna see that those parts are gonna come loose. I've got the safety out. I've got the extractor out. You can see this is the extractor here. And you can see the hammer is loose. If you look in there, you see the hole isn't quite lined up. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install this. This is the ambidextrous safety. And you can see it's a little bit longer and it's got a hole in it. And that's because the right-handed side is going to go on there, and it has a hole through it. You can see right here, it's got a hole through it where a pin goes to hold it in. So I'm going to install, this is the ambidextrous safety with the longer shaft. I'm going to install that in there. Then I'm going to have to put the sear back together with its pin. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like when I try to raise this up, and you'll see the interference with the sear. Took a little bit of doing, but I've got the safety pushed through. You can see it's come all the way through the other side. Now I can move the extractor back up to where it is straight like that. Now I'm going to have to hold the hammer back, and I made a little tool to help me do that. It's just a piece of coat hanger that's bent that I can hook into this hole and the hammer loop. Hold the hammer back. I'm going to have to put the sear in. It goes in like this, and it has to be pressing against this sear spring when you put it in, and then you line up that hole with this hole right here. And I found the easiest way to do that is to put this punch in from the other side, work it in, hold it. It's only halfway in, it holds it together, then you can put the pin in. I've got my little tool in place. Now I can put the sear in and slide the punch in from the other side. I have the sear pin in, and now when I try to move the safety, you see it stops and it won't go forward. And if you look really carefully down there, when I slide, I'm trying to push this safety forward. You can see it's interfering right there. I'm going to try to zoom in at 2x so you can see it a little better. But that's where the interference is, right there. So I'm going to have to remove just enough material for it to slide behind that sear. This is the factory safety, and you can see that the distance that I'm trying to measure this distance right here. You can see there's sort of a flat spot. It's about 533 maybe, 534, but it's in that range, 535. Now I'll compare that with the new safety. The distance for the new safety is about 560. And so what I'm going to have to do is remove some material. They said to take off about 5 thousandths at a time and to try to maintain the radius, but the radius is not the radius of this tiny little thing here. The radius is really from the center of this post. This is what it rotates around, is this pin, and so it's trying to keep that radius. You can see, yeah, so I have somewhere in the order of 20 to 30 thousandths bigger here. One thing I noticed is they told me that if this is fitted right, that you couldn't feel the sear move at all when the safety's on. But with the original safety in there, I tested it and I can feel it move a few thousandths. And so it's they say any movement in the sear is unacceptable. Well, it has a little bit from the factory setting. Like I say, a few thousandths. It's enough to feel it. Feel the sear move a little bit. I'm going to try to get it so it's minimal, but I'm going to have to remove 5 thousandths at a time and see how we do. This is the file I'm going to use. It's a small single cut file that's fairly fine, so I think it will remove just a little bit of a material at a time, and I'll just try to slowly remove material carefully. Okay, if you look carefully, you can see how much I've taken off. That's around 10 thousandths. And so it used to be out around the same diameter as that outer ring, and now it's filed down a little bit. I'm going to see if this will fit. I've taken off about 10 thousandths. If you look here, it still interferes with the sear plate. So I've still got some work to do to get it to clear that sear plate. I measured about 30 thousandths difference between this one and the other, so there might be still some more to go. Okay, this is the next iteration, and you can see when I push the safety down, it still interferes. I've still got to take a little bit more off, and that just shows that You don't want to take too much off. You want to try to get it to come out just right. That still looks like there's quite a bit of interference. Okay, the part now measures 540 thousandths. You remember it was 560. I've taken 20 thousandths off of this thing. Now what I want to show you is, this is what it looks like. Let me get this just right so you can see it. This is what it does now. Safety off, safety on. You can see it just misses. And when I put that on, it clears, but I'm going to tell you, it's fit perfectly, because when I push on that sear plate with my finger, I can't feel any movement at all. So it fits, and now I can put the detent into the safety and assemble it back to its full assembly. This is how you check it. You can see when you pull the trigger how it pushes up on that. Well, there's a rocker in the slide, and it in turn pushes down on this little pin right here. That's on the sear, and you can see that's on the top of the sear. When I push that with all my might, you can see it doesn't move the sear at all off the hammer. You can see the sear is holding back the hammer. See how I cock the hammer? You can see that sear fits right in that little notch. It's what's holding the hammer back. When you pull the trigger, it pushes on that little guy and releases it. Well, with the safety on, it won't move at all. So that's the first check. Now I'm going to slide that safety out far enough to put the detent in. This is the spring and the detent right here, and then this is the hole that it goes into. You can see it right here in the back of the safety. It's that hole right there. Those go in there, and then with the hammer forward and the extractor forward, you can work the safety. And what you have to do is, I use this sharp thing here, but I push the detent in and then push the safety in so that the detent gives it that snap on and off feeling. With the detent in, you get that positive click, off, on. It has a very positive catch at each stop because that detent is working. Now I can put the lever on the other side. You can see there's a hole here where the pin goes through to hold that side on, and that's the side right there. This is how I test it. I get a nice crisp feel. Since I'm left-handed, this will be nice to be able to just use my thumb to operate it on this side, but it seems to be working great. Now I can assemble the rest of the pistol like normal. Since I had to disassemble this and reassemble it so many times to fit that safety, there's a couple of things I learned. I'll tell you the tricks that I've learned for assembling. I can do it very quickly now. First is this, I'll call it a tool, but it's really just a coat hanger, because you've got to hold the hammer back. And then when you go to put the sear in, what I do is, I mentioned earlier that I get it lined up where I can see through the hole, and I take this punch that I have, it's just about the same size, and so I'm going to put the punch in from the other side. What I do is I line up, I put the sear in there, and of course it's got to be pressing on the spring, and well, this actually, extractor needs to be up along with the hammer. So I put the sear, take the sear, I put it in there, it's pressing against that spring, and what I can do, looking from the other side, I can line up the hole. I put this pin in, this punch to hold it halfway, then I come back here. Even then, it's a tight fit for the pin. So what I do is, pushing on the sear when it's in there, I pinch it between the sear and this part of the frame right here. I pinch those two together, and that's just puts it just in the right position that the pin goes in pretty easily. I mean, I struggled with it a little bit, but now I can get it where it lines up very quickly, and I get it in place in just very short order. So that's how I've been doing that, and One other thing I'll say, when this spring comes out of here, the spring will fall out and the hammer spring falls out. And so what you do, you have to have that part of the sear spring, that stud has to be in that hole. To get it in there, this hammer spring has to be pushed up a little ways out of the way to fit it in there. And then once you're done, you put the hammer back in. But if the hammer spring pushes too far, you can't line up the hammer hole with the safety shaft. And so you have to make sure that this is up high enough that it's fit properly in the frame, so that the hole in the hammer lines up to be able to get the safety through there. When you do that, it actually lines up pretty well, and it gets actually pretty easy to get that sear and the sear pin back in there. This is the gun fully assembled with the ambidextrous safety installed. You can see that it's safe, no magazine. So when I close that slide, now it's cocked. I put the safety on. When I pull the trigger, it will not fire. I take the safety off and it fires. So it works.